Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Cosmic Consciousness with Kassia. On this channel, we discuss all aspects of the ascension process. I have a variety of services that I offer to assist in your awakening journey, and you can usually find those in the description box below. If you are viewing this video between June and September, or wait, not June, July, between July and September of 2022, I am out on maternity leave, and so those services are not being offered at this time, but they will be, and I will let you guys know as soon as I am taking clients again. But this is really exciting. I'm so happy to be doing this video for you guys today. We are talking about the Syrian Gateway and the 7-7 portal. And this is going to be leading into the 8-8 portal because these energies are very linked together. It was actually really fun diving down the rabbit hole for this particular video. And I will say that I have felt in this year of 2022 that this gateway of energy actually opened up even before July. It really felt like it opened up with the 666 portal, and that we've been moving through this energy that is really climaxing in a lot of ways with that Lion's Gate portal. But the 7-7 energies are extremely potent and extremely powerful as well. We have, traditionally speaking, and as I said, I believe that it started earlier this year, but we have a gateway of energy that opens up every year at the beginning of July. And as we build up to the 7-7 portal, this is what people refer to as the Syrian Gateway or the Sirius Gateway. But this energy remains open and continues to build until the 8-8 portal. Now, in this first week of July, what is happening is that our physical sun is coming into alignment with Sirius, and the star Sirius is known by many as our spiritual sun. So we have this alignment happening between our spiritual sun and our physical sun, and that alignment is exact on July 6th when our physical sun hits 14 degrees of Cancer, which is where the star Sirius is currently located. And from this point, we then, of course, move into the 7-7 portal on the 7th. And then Sirius continues to be very prevalent in the sky. And on the day or the eve, depending on who you talk to, of the 8-8 portal, Sirius actually rises before our physical sun and is in closest proximity to Earth. And so this is what's going on during that 8-8 portal, that Lion's Gate portal, along with the alignment of the Great Pyramid of Giza and Orions Belt. And so there's a lot going on in these next couple months. What I did discover, interestingly enough, as I was reading and doing research for this video, was that the Great Pyramid was actually originally constructed to align with Sirius as the star Sirius rose in the sky. And the ancient Egyptians considered Sirius to be the home of the gods. It's also known as the dog star, which relates to also the energy of, and why am I drawing a blank right now? Give me a second, it'll come to me. There's an Egyptian deity that is a dog that this energy represents, and I'm seeing his image right now in my mind, but I'm having trouble. His name's not coming through for some reason. But it relates with that energy. They call it the dog star. They also call it the star of Isis. And so this energy, just extremely, extremely powerful and potent, very sacred to the ancient Egyptians and to all types of spiritually oriented people. The star Sirius, as I said, is known as our spiritual sun. And it really represents, when we come into alignment with it, this opening of access to all of our cosmic and galactic ancestry and cosmic and galactic roots. So it's like a giant doorway that opens up that really connects us, not just to Sirius and to the Syrian extraterrestrial race, which is known to be one of the most highly evolved. I say is known like like it's a matter of fact thing, but to those who work with and delve into these galactic and extraterrestrial matters, the Syrians are known to be extremely highly spiritually evolved, technologically involved. There's a lot of really profound energies that Sirius represents. It is some of the highest vibrational energy in the galaxy. it really, when we're in alignment with the Syrian energy, it opens us, like we said, to all of our cosmic roots, not just the Syrian energies. It really just bathes us in these beautiful rays of light, massive upgrades, right? But this is like a gentle upgrade. I'm being called to emphasize that, just the incredible gentleness of this energy as it moves through. But it is powerfully upgrading us, powerfully activating our DNA, really helping to connect during this gateway of energy. We can connect the most powerfully to our brothers and sisters in the stars that we can all year round. It really is just this beautifully profound energy. So really take advantage of that. Take advantage of this ability to connect, really work with meditation. If you are desiring contact with your ET brothers and sisters, with your star family, really setting that intention. I'm feeling like the Galactic Federation really wants to come through for some people during this Syrian Gateway, and this gateway between now and the 8-8 portal, the Lionsgate portal. So some people may be receiving first contact from the Galactic Federation during this time as well. There's just a lot of beautiful ET races that want to connect with us, and of course Sirius being, and the Syrians being a primary energy, the Orions as well, right? As we move toward that 8-8, we are aligning. The Pyramid of Giza is aligning with Orions Belt. And so when you look at Orion's Belt, the 3 stars that make up his belt, if you go directly diagonally from there, they actually serve as sort of a pointer that then points out the star Sirius. And so that's a way to find Sirius in the sky. Sirius is the brightest star in the sky, and it is at its brightest in August, but it is in that perfect alignment with our physical sun on July 6th. Something else that I've had, Anubis, that is the Egyptian god, the wolf god, the opener of the way, if you will. That whose name I was having trouble remembering. That just popped into my head, so I wanted to throw that out there. Isis and Anubis, very much connected with Sirius, but all of the Egyptian deities and all of the intergalactic peeps, if you will, very much connected with that energy, and it's considered that cosmic bridge that connects us to all of those energies of higher consciousness. And so what was I saying before Anubis popped into my head? We were talking about where Sirius is located. We were talking about Orion's Belt. We were talking, here we go. Doing this again. I should rewind because I think the time was 7:07. Funnily enough, when I went off on that tangent, so I could rewind to see exactly what we were talking about there. I guess it's not really important. What's really important to note is just that this energy is here. It's prevalent. It is. Oh yeah, that's what it was. Okay. Thank you for bearing with me, you guys. Having a little bit of a distractible mind anyway, and then being in my final week or so of pregnancy, it makes for an interesting conversations here, and sometimes we just got to go down some avenues until we get where we're going. So I appreciate your patience. What was interesting to note was that originally, or I won't say originally because it's always shifting a little bit, but in 1776, people who are American. Who are American are going to find this interesting. In 1776, the star Sirius and our physical sun came into contact and into exact alignment on July 4th. And so this country was founded purposefully on the 4th of July because Sirius represents freedom and independence, and that's why we call it Independence Day. And it was specifically coordinated, the founding of this country, of America, to coincide with the alignment of Sirius and our physical sun. And since then, the energies, the sky has shifted slightly. And now that exact alignment happens on July 6th. But I thought that was really fascinating. There's a lot of interesting esoteric stuff when you trace things back. Nothing really happens by accident. And so it is really interesting to note the energies of this country were founded on, and just the intentions that were there, and just really holding that hope within us that we are going to bring our country back into alignment with that energy of freedom and independence, right? Because that is truly our birthright as humans, and that was the original intent behind founding this country in the first place. And we're not going to go down any more rabbit holes with that. There's a lot of stuff that we could start talking about now, but we're going to stay focused. We're going to stay on topic, and we're going to continue to work with this energy and pull some cards to see what guidance we have as we're moving through the Syrian Gateway with this 7-7 portal. We're going to do a separate video for the 8-8 Lionsgate portal, so I'm not going to completely lump them in together, even though they are very connected. We're going to stay focused on the 7-7 portal for this video, and this Syrian Gateway, and what it is that what messages Spirit wants to send us. I'm trying to see what I want to do first for cards. I'm actually wanting to pull a Priestess of Light oracle card for you guys, so we're going to start with that for today, interestingly enough, and then move from there. Clear. All right, Syrian Gateway, 7-7 portal energies. This is like there's like a massive upgrade that's going to occur with the 8-8 portal, I'm feeling. And this 7-7 portal and this Syrian Gateway is kind of like the cleansing. It's like the detox for our energy to prepare us for the 8-8. But it's not like a lot of times when we think of detoxing, we think of like purging and stuff like that. It's not like that level of intense purging. The energy is actually, for many, going to feel very light. I mean, it all depends on where you are vibrationally, of course. Well, that came flying out there, didn't it? We have bright heart light, open connections coming out. And that's really beautiful. So there is, I mean, this energy, the Syrian energy, is all about the heart chakra. Right? It is a beautiful, high vibrational, loving energy. So we have a major activation of our heart chakra opening up, and a reconnection. I'm definitely feeling, it says open connections, but I'm feeling that reconnection with our hearts, reconnection with this planet, right? You notice how she's in the forest here, right? Reconnection with our star brothers and sisters, right? Ourselves, like a deeper connection to ourselves being forged during this portal. I feel like this deep healing when it comes to the tendency that we have to be critical of ourselves, to be critical of each other, because remember, what's in here is reflected out here. And so a lot of the criticism and condemnation that we have of others starts within the self, right? And then we're just, people are just directing it outwardly at everything else. But it's really because it's internalized. And so it's like this deeper level of self-acceptance that we're achieving during this 7-7 portal and this 7-7 gateway. It's like we're able, there's just a lightness to the soul, a lightness to the energy here. Really learning how to live from our hearts in a more profound way, how to connect with each other heart to heart. This is the wisdom and the guidance of Sirius. Let's see if there's anything here. This is also all about receptivity, really working on manifesting from the heart center, simply through this ability to receive and cultivating our receptivity. So we're going to be very receptive. We're being asked to be very receptive during this energy. And there's a lot of beautiful soul connections coming in for people. Like we said, reconnections with our own souls and reconnections with others. Then we got the Divine Feminine coming out, magnetic receptive power. And there's some very Egyptian looking symbolism on this card. This is a gorgeous card. So there's a lot of this beautiful divine feminine energy coming. But remember, Sirius is the dog star and the star of Isis. And so that dog star, that Anubis energy, that is the masculine. And then the Isis energy is the feminine. So Sirius is a blend of both of these energies. It's not one or the other. However, we are really getting this resurgence of energy here that is allowing us to tap into the mysteries. It's like the mysteries of the feminine. It's a very high priestess energy here. And this talks about receptive power. And that word receptive keeps coming up. So this energy of receptivity, very, very strong and very, very powerful as we're working with these energies. And so when I'm looking at receptive power, what I'm also thinking is the difference between power with and power over. And how we talk about as we're moving into a more feminine power, we're moving into an energy where we're aligning with each other. Right? I understand that when I empower you and you empower me, we become more powerful. Right? And so my power increases as your power increases. It's our power. Right? As opposed to the template of power that we've been working with in this reality for such a long time that many might call the masculine power. But we'll just call a distorted version of power, which is this power over. Which is, I am more powerful than you. You must submit to me, right? It's like this domination and control energy. All right, we're moving out of that into an energy where we are all in control, right? And we're working simultaneously and synergistically together. So we're really being open to more of our magnetic energy, right? Receptive, magnetic. This is all about drawing things to us. And so what this is telling us is that during the Syrian Gateway in the 7-7 portal, and then moving through, right through to the 8-8, there's going to be a lot of really, we are going to be so magnetic. We are going to be so magnetic, so pay attention. Pay attention to your vibration. Pay attention to what you are speaking, what you are calling into being. Because your thoughts, your words and your actions are creating your reality and drawing things into being. So what is it that you're wanting to create? Can you work on cultivating this energy of receptivity, right? This energy of effortless manifestation where we're simply drawing to us everything that we desire by being that vibrational match. During this energy, during this gateway, many people are going to be reaching that point where they finally become a vibrational match to their desires. And so it's going to seem almost like things are dropping into your life out of nowhere, right? Like magic. And it is magic, but it's just because you finally hit that vibrational point, that point of vibration that you needed to be at in order to attract all the things that you've been working for. That we have portal coming out, infinite mind, awakening consciousness. Yeah, there's a massive awakening happening for humanity with this portal in this gateway between now and the 8-8 portal. A larger and larger sectors of humanity are awakening. All right. And this is beautiful. This is beautiful. But remember, think about your spiritual awakening, your initial spiritual awakening. There was a dark night of the soul. There was that truth being revealed, that ugly truth that you had to stare in the face. Right? It was when your whole world got turned on its head. And so this is beautiful that we're going to have so many people waking up, right? During this portal. But it may look like chaos on the outside. All right? Because it's going to mean a whole bunch of new people initiated into this process of ascension, of awakening, who are going through that dark night of the soul. So we want to be really loving. That's where we tap back into this heart energy. We want to be really gentle with them. We want to be really loving. We want to remember what it was like to be where they're at. And just as there's a whole new wave of people awakening during this energy, we're each and every single one of us stepping into a deeper level of awakening ourselves. And many of us over this first half of 2022 so far have really noticed how we've been going through another awakening. This has been well underway, right? We've been plunged into an additional dark night of the soul. And now we're emerging from that energy during this portal, this gateway, as something completely brand new. What's the next energy here? Achievement, effort plus intention. And that looks like a white buffalo calf lady, right? But this is what we are, this is one of the things that we're becoming more aware and more conscious of. Effort plus intention. All right? And so it's interesting because we're really being called to step into this energy of receptivity, right? However, at the same time, in order to truly achieve great things, and in order to really meet our manifestations, we have to be willing to put in the effort as well. And so it's right there is the balance, right? The balance of the masculine and feminine. We have the intention, the feminine. We have the effort, the masculine. And so where are these energies meeting? This is where many of us are really being given a clearer perspective of the current incarnation of our purpose, right? Because our purpose, as we talk about all the time, it evolves as we do, right? But this next phase of our purpose, of our mission on this planet, is really beginning to crystallize for many of us. All right, and we're really seeing where the intentions, it's like this portal is showing us what the efforts are that we can put in to align us with our intentions. Like for many of us, we've had intentions set for a long time, but we haven't quite known what the next step is towards achieving those. Or perhaps our intentions were very, very general, which is a great way to manifest and create, right? When we're focusing on, say, like whatever is for our greatest and best good, whatever is going to bring us the most fulfillment, right? Things like that. And we may not have known what those things were, but now it's becoming more clear. And we're getting this opportunity to set a more focused intention and to really see what moves we can make to support those intentions. And we have sacred action, decisive focus. Yeah. So it's interesting. It's like we said, we are being called to move in between this energy, right? Of action and inaction, of being receptive. And I think that this is part of the key here, is that sometimes this is the blending, this is the melding of the masculine and feminine. This is what a lot of people have trouble with, right? Because it's like when we are in the mode of doing, we sometimes forget how to be receptive. Like, how can I be receptive? How can I be in inaction and action at the same time, right? How can I be going after what I want, but also be receptive in the same moment, right? Active surrender. These are the things that we're learning and we're really fine-tuning. So we're being asked to be open and receptive during this portal. But we're also being asked to take the action to act on the inspiration and the guidance that we're receiving. Sacred action. Okay? So this isn't just acting for the sake of acting, doing something for the sake of doing, right? You're not a human doing, you're a human being. However, when the action is called for and the action is righteous, we are being asked to take that action. But we are being asked to view everything through the lens of the sacred. Right? To act through the lens of the sacred, to uphold the sacred even, I want to say. And that's really calling me. I want to pull a Sacred Rebels card for you guys. A Sacred Rebels Oracle card. That's where I'm being drawn with this energy. I think that was upside down. You're not going to be able to read it anyway. Because of the inversion of it in the camera. But yeah, on the bottom of the deck, interestingly enough, I do just want to shout out that we have setting boundaries. Just we're constantly being reminded of that. It's so important. All right. Let's pull a card. clear. From the Sacred Rebels. For my Sacred Rebels, from the Sacred Rebels deck. As we move through the 7-7 portal and this gateway toward the 8-8 portal. What guidance is coming through for us? Okay. We have Restore and Replenish coming out. Pretty self-explanatory right there. This is a portal of restoration. Like we said, it is restoring us. It is replenishing us. It is preparing us. These are like the beautiful, gentle upgrades and activations that we're receiving that are then preparing us for what's gonna come through with that 8-8, with that Lionsgate energy, right? What we're being asked to, in order to integrate, in order to allow this to be the gentle process that it's meant to be, we have to be in this energy of restoring and replenishing, right? We have to give ourselves plenty of rest. We have to take care of our sacred physical vessels, right? Pull back our energy, right? That's where the boundaries on the bottom of the deck here come in. Really setting those energetic boundaries, setting those physical boundaries with people so that we are able to get the rest, the replenishment, and the nourishment that we need. And then we have Heaven Sent, card number 33 coming out. And this is a beautiful card. I'm trying to see if you guys can see that. It's difficult in the lighting to fully see all of the detail there in the top part. But it's a really beautiful card, and I'm going to read that card for you guys. Or at least part of it, maybe not all of it. Just as we receive gifts in the physical world through the thoughtfulness of others to acknowledge how much we mean to them, so too we receive gifts on other levels, including the spiritual level. A spiritual gift is something that happens through grace. We can ask for help and it may be given in response to that request. All requests for help are answered. A spiritual gift can also be given without us asking for anything at all, at least not consciously. Sometimes it is our hearts that cry out for help. While we are busy getting on with our to-do lists, we don't often stop to think about what our hearts might need. If we do, and an immediate solution is not obvious, we just get on with life, either letting the issue be or taking the more painful option of dwelling on it without seeing how it might be resolved. However, there is a loving benevolence in life that knows exactly what we need and how it can best come to us, even when we are not quite so clear. This force actively seeks to assist us in walking our life path. That loving sweetness is being offered to you now or soon will be in the form of a spiritual gift. Your spiritual gift may be symbolic. It may be something that seems ordinary but holds a lot of meaning to you. It might be an object that catches your eye and mesmerizes you. You might think you are appreciating how lovely it looks, but it is the underlying energy that captures you. Something in the appearance, color, or shape speaks to you and is perhaps answering an unspoken prayer. It is not the object that is the gift. This is just the wrapping. The actual gift is subtle yet effective empowerment. It is like a spiritual booster shot that helps you move forward in life with additional zing, extra strength, and greater peace. You will be empowered to accomplish tasks that you may not have nearly, but not quite, been able to manage on your own through the bestowal of a spiritual gift. The spiritual gift may or may not be recognizable to you. It may be very obvious. An offer, a windfall, a trip, a friendship, a new lover, or a remarkable healing in a current relationship. It might be far more subtle and even more powerful, such as a jolt of energy that allows you to perceive things differently all of a sudden, and perhaps solve a problem that has been plaguing you. It will be bestowed as and when it is needed in the form that will best serve the love in you. This oracle also brings you the message, let yourself be helped. Assistance is coming your way, so act on it and say yes. If you have also drawn the oracle of collaborative dreaming, the message is amplified. Blah, blah, blah. This oracle also comes with the message that you are to trust in the things that you feel and say to others without knowing why. It moves them. You might not understand, but through trust you are allowing yourself not to overthink and censor yourself. As such, you are able to become a vessel through which the spiritual gift can be passed on to others. Do not block yourself. Let life happen through you. Only benefit can come from this. And this is really important, you guys. All right? This is why it's so important for us to trust and to let go, right? Because there are so many times when we abandon the self-criticism, when we abandon the anxiety, right? This need to impress, this ego, right? Because all of that really revolves around the ego, right? And we just allow ourselves to express freely. Spirit works through us in those moments. Think about those conversations that you have with somebody where they ask you a question and you answer instinctively without thinking about it. And wisdom pours out of your mouth that you didn't even know you held within you, right? That's spirit channeling through you. That's how you become a vessel, a channel for spirit. When we're constantly editing ourselves and thinking about what it is that we want to say, we block that channel, we block that flow. And so really allowing ourselves to flow and allowing this flow to happen in all aspects and areas of our lives. Read that. Let life happen through you. All right? Through you, not to you. There's a difference. When we're in a victim mentality, we feel like life is happening to us. When we are in flow, when we are synchronized with the universal language, right? With the universal flow, life happens through us. We are creating it. It is moving through us. It is a dynamic expression of energy, a dynamic co-creation. And so this 7-7 portal and these energies, as we move through them, building towards that Lion's Gate, right? They are offering us an opportunity to sink into and surrender into flow, to allow life to happen through us, to allow ourselves to be greater vessels for spirit, right? To connect more deeply, to become and merge more deeply with our higher selves. This 7 energy is a highly spiritual energy. If you look through just creation in general, you can see reflections of the number 7 coming up over and over again, right? So many things happen in groups or sets of 7. We have 7 major chakras. As we know, we have a 12 chakra system and more, but there are 7 major chakras that we've been aware of for the longest time, right? 7 main colors, right? 7 notes, main notes in the musical spectrum. Even in the fable of the Bible, right? The story of the Bible, the earth was created, well, actually 6 days. On the 7th day, God rested, I believe. But right, 7 days still. It says the week has 7 days. We have 7 key planets in the solar system, right? This energy, it just keeps going and it keeps going and it keeps going. 7 is a very powerful and potent, spiritually significant number. And so this energy, it is a massive activation and reconnection with our higher spiritual selves. So allow that connection to flow through you. Don't stifle it. Don't stifle it by doubting yourself. Don't stifle it by trying to control it. All right, this energy is all about us seeking or learning how to rescind control. And then beginning to understand how much more control we actually have when we give control up. Right? When we stop trying to micromanage the universe. When we move into alignment. All right, when you're aligned, you don't have to control. Because everything is naturally flowing through you. Already. Really powerful stuff, you guys. So we're going to be seeing more of our gifts and abilities activated. But that happens when we get out of our own way. That happens when we stop trying to compare ourselves to other people. That happens when we stop self-criticizing. Right? If you have drawn any other card, it acts as a wild card and an amplifier. All right? And so the amplifier card is restore and replenish. So in order to receive and fully activate these spiritual gifts, we need to restore ourselves. We need to heal. We need to replenish. We need to give ourselves that downtime. All right? For some people, I'm also feeling like people are being called during this energy, during this gateway of energy. If you're not giving yourself the appropriate rest, if you're not taking care of yourself, if there's an area in mind, body, and spirit where you are kind of slacking when it comes to self-care, it's going to be brought to your attention. For some people, that is a gift. Some people may even get ill during this time. And that is actually a gift because it's causing you to slow down. All right. And so this is something that I still have to be retaught from time to time. I'm learning and getting better with it. Is like, if we do not give ourselves the rest that we need, our bodies will force us to. All right. And so if that's not the kind of gift you're wanting to receive, make sure that you're taking the time to replenish yourself and take care of your mind, your body, and your spirit. Especially, I mean, they're all important, but especially that body, you guys. Our bodies are going to be speaking to us. They're going to be telling us what they need. The more spiritually in tune we become, the more powerfully our bodies speak to us, right? Because when we're becoming spiritually in tune, the mind, the body, and the spirit are all melding. Remember, everything is melding into one. And so they're working together much more synchronistically, which means our body is going to speak to us quicker, more and more quickly, and more loudly if it needs to speak up to be heard. All right. For other people, this is just like deep soul restoration. That is the gift coming through. On the bottom of the deck here, we have card number 17. What is already with you? And I'm intrigued. I've never seen this card before, actually. So, I want to read what this has to say here. But one thing that is popping into my mind immediately is that what you're seeking already exists within you. And to really, like during this portal, we may be becoming more aware of the incredible resources that we already had at our disposal that we were overlooking, with the incredible gifts that exist in our lives already that we hadn't appreciated, and coming into a deeper appreciation for those things. You hold in your hand that which you seek. Yeah. In other words, the pair of spectacles that you have been rummaging around the house for is sitting right on top of your head. How many times have we all done that? What you are seeking, perhaps by exploring far and wide, is actually right under your nose. You may not like this idea. It is so much more wonderful to imagine there is something yet to find. Of course, there is unlimited creative potential and always something more that can be. Yet in this instance, it is important for you to know that you already have what you need and what you want. That doesn't mean it's the end of the story, although it does ask you to give up the fantasy that a perfect solution lies in the future somewhere. Instead, it asks you to acknowledge that everything necessary for success is with you now, right? How many times have we talked about this? You are more ready than you think. All you need to do is accept this and act with what you have available to you. This is good news. This particular chapter has a happy ending in store. That ending will become real for you just as soon as you stop trying to skip forward to the next chapter. Better to be completely present in the now. From here, the next phase will naturally happen without force on your part. And so that's that divine feminine receptive energy of creating. Let's see. It might not seem like you have much to start with. Perhaps you feel that all you have is a small, simple choice to make. Perhaps you have a song to begin, an email to send, a conversation to start, or a sketch to let loose. However small, it is enough to get the ball rolling, right? That energy creates momentum. Don't make the mistake of believing that what you need is behind you, lies with another, or is yet to appear. You have all that you need to take the next step in your life, and from that, all else will flow. Sacred action, achievement, right? And this is right in line. If you guys didn't watch the video that I did with Pete Sapper from the Chosen 144, we talked about the current mission of the 144,000. This is exactly what we were talking about. The time is now. The time to act, the time to utilize your gifts, the time to step into your power. It is right now. Don't wait until you think you're ready. You're more ready than you think you are. You have more to offer than you realize you do. All right? It starts with a single step. Okay? It's like you will gain more resources as you go along. But you got to take that first step first. That's what gets the energy going. That's what gets the energy moving. What I'm imagining right now is it's sort of like the example that I'm being given is like, say somebody wants, like, I want to learn a new modality, or I want to go to college or whatever. And all I have money for right now is one semester or one class, and I know that what I want to be certified in involves many, many classes in order to get full certification. And so instead of being like, well, I have the money and the time for this first step of that, for this first class, for this first semester, I'm like, no, I need to get money saved for the whole thing before I start. That's the kind of energy that we're talking about here. All right? And for all I know, more opportunities and more abundance is going to open up after I get started. Right? But I have to get started first in order to initiate that process, that flow of energy. Clear. All right, what else do we want to do before we close here? Visions of life beyond death. Restore and replenish popping out again. This is such a key message for all of us right now, the importance of that. And so this is where it's important, right? Also, to acknowledge the cycle that we're in. All right? Some people, this is a period of pulling back. This is a period of rest because that's what's going to restore and replenish you. For other people, you're coming out of that period now, and it's taking the action that's going to restore and replenish you. At this point, that's what you need. So pay attention to the cycle and the season that you're in, because not all of us are going to be in the same cycle or season. All right? But whatever that is, also, like, we can't be in denial about where we're at. We can't pretend, oh, I think I need more rest and replenishment, right? I still need to be in hermit mode, when our heart and soul are calling us into action, right? Like, we have to be honest with ourselves about where we're at in our cycle and what is motivating us, right? Is it our intuition? Clear. Or is it fear? Is it the fact that we truly require more information, more resources before we can act, or is it that we're afraid to act? And I just happen to be holding this card while we're talking about that, deep emotions, and this talks about unknown feelings and past life influences. And so for some people, this is what you're coming up against. This is where your resistance lies. It's in past life energies, ancestral energies for some too, collective energies that you're carrying with you. It's time to work through those and release those so that you can move forward. And I know I'm going to be I'm on maternity leave. I actually am right now as I'm recording this video. So I won't be doing any theta healing with people until the fall time probably. But there's lots of different ways to work with this and access these energies through meditation, right? Reaching out to your ancestors. There are of course other people. Right, there are shamans and other energy workers and healers that you can reach out to for guidance with some of this past life stuff, and really coming to terms with and understanding some of it. But those influences for some people are part of what's creating that resistance and that fear of moving forward, that fear of taking that next step that you know intuitively you're meant and ready to take. And remember, oftentimes, we're not fully ready until we do it. It's the doing that creates that full feeling of readiness. All right? So you're never going to feel 100% ready. Let's see. What do I want to pull here? I want to pull a Gateway of Light activation card. And then we may close with a Keepers of the Light card pull. All right? Clear. Tell us about the activations that we are receiving during this 7-7 portal and this gateway leading toward the 8-8 during the Syrian Gateway. During these dog days of summer, that's where the term dog days comes from. It comes from Sirius and the fact that Sirius is high in the sky and in close proximity to Earth and the sun. During these days of summer that really began at the very tail end of June, moving through August, September. All right, what activations are we receiving? Okay. Ooh, we got a few coming out here. We have the Pleiadian activation, Coming together, harmony in the heavens, resolution. So the Pleiadians wanting to be known here. We have the Anunnaki light codes coming through. Energetic shifts, new information, end of cycles. And we also have the crystal skull wisdom coming through. Clarity, divine healing, high vibrational energies. So a lot of heart, we got the heart energies coming in here. We have so many of these energies that represent connection and communion, right? But there's this clarity too, this new information coming through with these Anunnaki light codes here. And so, yeah, this is where there's a deeper realization, revelation, or understanding that each of us is gaining in some level of being. For some people, this is like their initial awakening that they're experiencing during this gateway of energy, right? Where aspects of the truth, aspects of their reality come into focus that cause them to, fall into this questioning energy. All right. It's like, I feel a lot of questioning for a lot of us, actually. And that's because we are shifting so much energetically that we are literally becoming strangers to ourselves. All right. That is what a dark night of the soul truly is. That's what a spiritual awakening truly is. When we realize that everything we thought we knew is not factual, right? That we were perhaps mistaken. When we begin to question everyone and everything, every truth that we thought we held. All right. That's the spiritual awakening. And the dark night of the soul is a symptom of the spiritual awakening because the ego falls into chaos. When what we perceive to be truth is exposed as perhaps not being so, that throws the ego throws a temper tantrum. And that's where the dark night of the soul comes in. All right? And so each and every single one of us is falling into a deeper level of questioning, but through that process of questioning, a brand new truth emerges. All right? A brand new clarity emerges. And there is this powerful energy of this beautiful loving energy that the Pleiadian activation is bringing through, right? So there's for a lot of people, there's energy that is really also assisting us in ending cycles, resolving, coming to terms. If there are friendships or relationships that have been on the rocks, for some people there is like a reconciliation energy here. There's a coming together and being able to unify. Even if we have differences of opinions, there's this energy coming through that's really assisting us in seeing what we have in common more than what is different. That's what this Pleiadian energy coming through is assisting us in doing. It's seeing where can we meet in the middle? Where can we come together? All right? And it's just bringing this beautiful, there's a beautiful heart activation with that energy. There's a beautiful activation with this crystal skull, right, of the crown, the higher chakras. These Anunnaki light codes coming in, really providing a profound shift all the way around. It's a more cerebral type of activation. And really a literal light body activation is what that feels like. Yeah, especially with the solar light upgrade coming through next. Solar plexus chakra, inner fire, willpower. So that solar plexus getting a huge activation as we move through these energies. We are really receiving. And so work with the energy of the sun, the literal sun. Remember, the 7-7 on 7-6 is 7-6 and 7-7 are going to be very powerful days. 7-6 is when the sun is in exact alignment with the star Sirius. 7-7 is that 7-7 portal energy. All right. So these are powerful days. Our spiritual sun in alignment with our physical sun. All right. So we really want to work with the energy of the physical sun. The energy of Sirius will be able to channel through the physical energy of the physical sun. All right. So when we go outside and we soak up that light from the sun, that heat, that warmth from the sun, we are absorbing those light codes. All right. So set that intention as you are standing out in the sunlight. And this is really reactivating our own, like we said, our own inner fire, that willpower, that masculine energy. So this is that feminine and that masculine energy both receiving powerful upgrades, right? Karmic board clearing, energetic clearings, rewrite your story, live your truth. So there's a lot of energy clearing and a lot of energy coming in, you guys. One more card. All right, we got 2. Shambhala initiations, retreating to recharge, trust in the process, Dharma. And Merkabah activation, transcendence, ascension, you are rising up. Boom, right there, you guys. The Merkabah, the energy body, our astral spaceship, right? This is the field that surrounds the body that allows us to travel interdimensionally, right? So getting an activation of that Merkabah. Really a powerful, powerful ascension activation. And then this, once again, is reminding us to trust, first of all, trust in divine timing. Trust that you are on the highest path. All right? Stop questioning yourself. Be present. In the moment, in the present moment, you can feel your internal compass activate. All right? It's when we're not present, when we're in the head, that we get confused. And once again, this is reminding us to take time out to recharge. All right? Where is your sanctuary? Take that time, please, you guys. We all, and this is as important for me as anyone, we all need to know and remember how important it is to take that time to recharge when we need it. All right? On the bottom of the deck, we have Arcturian light codes, evolutionary downloads, recalling power, future thinking. All right? So it's like we said, all the star systems are coming out to play during this Syrian Gateway. This gateway toward the Lion's Gate, from the 7-7 through to the 8-8, all right? Everyone is coming out to play. So, yeah. Take your pick. Everyone's ready and willing to communicate, to work with you. We're receiving so much, so really take that time to integrate. Am I going to close with something? I was thinking Keepers of the Light, but I think we're going to close with a card from the Starseed Oracle. All right. We're going to have one card from the Starseed Oracle. Okay, no, they just corrected me. Clear. We're going to close with a card from the Isis Oracle, being that this is, Sirius is the star of Isis. All right. But on our way to that, we have I'm Sorry coming out. Defenselessness, righting past wrongs, uprooting. And it's interesting that on the bottom of the deck we have the Great Severing, which is Mars energy. Anger and conflict, softening to love. So there is this tumultuous energy, like we talked about, that will be present. There's also this energy of healing karma right now. All right? And so where is it that we're being asked to be humble? To be the bigger person in a situation, to practice forgiveness. This energy is giving us a great capacity. If you have been struggling with forgiveness in some way, shape, or form, this energy is giving you that extra boost that you need in order to reach out, in order to admit where you might have been wrong, or in order to forgive somebody else's shortcoming, to forgive somebody else who harmed you. All right, knowing from that greater spiritual perspective that was all orchestrated ahead of time for your highest growth and healing anyway, right? But when that sting of betrayal hits, it's hard for us to remember that sometimes. But there's a lot of energy, so take advantage of that. If somebody comes to you offering an apology, if you are able to, try to be open to that, try to be receptive to that, right? And if you feel as though you need to go back and make an amends or an apology, right? There's a difference. In amends is when we take action towards righting a wrong. An apology is simply saying we're sorry. But sometimes when that is heartfelt, that can be an amends in and of itself, right? And so are you being called to do that? Are you being called to bear witness to that? All right? Remember, what is the quote that I'm looking for right now? It talks about resentment. Resentment is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. All right, when we hold those emotions within us, it's like acid to our system. It's not bothering the other person most of the time. Clear. It's only harming us. So are you willing to let that go? Righteous anger. That's the thing that a lot of people are being invited to let go during this portal. And we can see this in the world at large right now, right? The world is addicted to righteous anger. This is one of the ploys that is used to keep people at each other's throats. This righteous anger. This, and you guys know what I mean by righteous anger, right? When there's a clear injustice, according to, of course, the belief systems of those people perceiving the injustice. And we feel really vindicated in the anger, right? It makes sense. It feels, it's like righteous anger has its own, it has a special kind of fire that burns with it. All right. But we can get carried away on this anger. So there is like an understanding being offered to people during this portal that righteous anger is still anger. It still eats away at your soul just the same as anything else. And it is still, when it is expressed, it still creates and fosters a similar reaction, right? Clear. All right, let's get a card, a closing card for the 7-7 portal, right? When we approach anyone with anger, it doesn't matter if it's righteous or justified. That's the word I was looking for. Righteous anger is anger that feels justified. Whether it's justified or not, when we approach a situation, a person, something with anger, we are typically received with anger as well. Ooh, God, sorry guys, my wrist it's been in a lot of pain, so the shuffling really, it's hard on it. Past life, present power on the bottom of the deck. I just want to point that out. More of this energy of recalling our power. All right, that's happening for a lot of people as well. But I think it's very interesting. What do we have that popped up from the Isis Oracle? Once again, the Merkabah. They call it the Chariot of Ascension in this deck. So really interesting. The Merkabahs come out twice, you guys. So a major activation of our Merkabah. And I want to read a little bit about this because they have a really great description of the Merkabah in this book. And so we're just going to go with this and it's going to be helpful for whoever it's helpful for. Your soul wishes to travel more freely between the dimensions of higher reality. This is to allow for conscious spirit communication, the free flow of soul light into the physical body, and the joining in divine harmony of heaven and earth. It requires a powerful consciousness to do this. The Merkabah, Chariot of Ascension, and Soul Fire is the spiritual gift to attain these divine purposes now, available to you as a high initiate. There are times when the soul becomes ambitious and wishes to live its entire light in conscious oneness with all expressions of its being, including the physical body. It may wish to do so simply because it is the nature of all beings to eventually realize themselves as divine, or because it needs specific new skills to be available to the human expression in the physical body, so it can continue with its divine purpose. Those skills might be channeling divine energy or consciousness for healing, traveling easily between the worlds for conscious spirit communication, gaining greater artistic or creative ability, because it feels wonderful to create, or any number of other purposes. This oracle brings you guidance that a special spiritual practice has come or is soon coming to your attention that will help your soul reach you more fully. It will be an advanced practice and it will serve you well at this time in your journey to reach the higher levels. To reach the higher levels of capacity and spiritual responsibility that are available to you as a high initiate. Peace to you, beloved. Your spiritual work on this planet is greatly supported. The Chariot of Ascension Oracle also offers you a particular sacred teaching from the priestess of high initiates, Lady Isis. This is the practice of the Merkabah, soul vehicle or Chariot of Ascension. This vehicle is an energetic structure of sacred geometry that strengthens and protects you. that strengthens and protects you, allowing for your consciousness to travel instantaneously and freely between dimensions and realities without compromising your vibration or damaging your energy bodies. Merkabah is a vehicle of great strength and power and is best used with a heart dedicated in unconditional love and service. It can be used to travel on the inner planes to stars and temples for higher guidance in an instant, as well as to connect with other souls on the inner planes at various levels of evolution. It is recommended that such a practice only be used with permission granted from the soul in question and from a place of love and intention to be of healing service. Merkabah allows you to travel without the usual restraints upon your energy field, but like any powerful practice, there is a wise caution. You will travel and experience what is in your heart. Keep your heart open and clear and do not use Merkabah if you are feeling uncentered, ungrounded, disconnected, or angry. It is a technique to use when you are feeling peaceful and aligned within yourself. At such times, great growth in consciousness is possible for you using Merkabah. The Oracle of the Chariot of Ascension is a gift of high-level spiritual training. Your wisdom in using what you have learned helps you make the most of this sacred gift. This oracle is as much about receiving the training as it is about knowing when to apply it and when to have restraint. The Oracle of the Chariot of Ascension is also confirmation that you are growing spiritually and becoming ready for greater tasks and spiritual responsibilities. If you have been considering taking a leap to engage in teaching or healing, in studying or practicing at a higher level, whether spiritually or in your chosen field or profession, you are encouraged to follow your heart and your destiny and be bold. Say yes to yourself. The Chariot of Ascension speaks of rising destinies and success. And so there is a ritual here for working with the Merkabah. And let me know if you guys are interested in that. I can take a picture of that and post that in the comments box for you. All right, but there's a lot of activation around our Merkabah. A lot of people beginning to work consciously with that energy, to travel interdimensionally, to travel to different locations, right, in different dimensions for healing and initiations, which is really powerful. Yeah, I definitely do feel that for some people, whether in your dream time, in your meditation time, you are perhaps going to be taken to other dimensions for some of these initiations and activations. It's going to be a wild and powerful time if any of you guys are doing any type of plant medicine or ceremonies. It's going to be some interesting journeys for you guys, I think. All right, we're gonna call it there. We're gonna end this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and let me know. Even as I move through my maternity leave, I will of course be checking in with you guys. I will be reading all the comments. I love you guys so much. You are absolutely incredible. And yeah, I will talk to you all very soon. There are links down below to donate if you feel so moved to donate to the channel. Peace, love, happiness, joy, freedom, liberation to you all. Bye.